Hey everybody, this is Pastor Brandon with our next episode of the Fandom Pastor. So last week, or last time, we talked about cult films, and I said that this one is kind of sort of a cult film and kind of sort of isn't. It was a classic when it came out. In fact, it was the highest grossing film of its year. And specifically, I had a friend ask me what my thoughts were on this film because she said she liked it and she enjoyed it. So the film, as you can tell, and as a clue says, it was one of the inspirations for the film Godzilla in 1954. The film is The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. Again, it was a classic. You can check out the trailer below. It was a big deal when it came out. So the kind of the story is these scientists, these Arctic Circle researchers, detonate this nuclear device and kind of thaw out this prehistoric monster, beast, frozen for millions of years, and it kind of attacks New York. It comes into New York. It's taking things down. It's kind of destroying things, and the usual chaos ensues. So a couple things to share with you. Again, it was in 1953 was the highest grossing film of its year. I do want to also share, so the title is not actually really kind of correct. So it's called The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. A fathom equals 6 feet. So the beast would have had to come from 23 miles down. The sea itself is actually only 7 miles deep at its deepest. So not really possible, but it was a catchy name, so that's what they went with. So a couple things I do want to share with you. It was the first to feature a giant creature awakened or mutated by an atomic bomb. It was the first film with Ray Harryhausen in full charge of technical effects. It was inspired by a short story from Ray Bradbury. So, first of all, Ray Bradbury, I'm hoping you have heard of him. He wrote a lot of science fiction, great classic author. Ray Harryhausen is probably a name you may have heard of. Ray Bradbury, but Harryhausen, probably not. And yet, he was an absolute genius. And in fact, in 2016, there was a list gathered together of filmmakers who were inspired by Harryhausen. These include Steven Spielberg, Peter Jackson, Joe Dante, Tim Burton, Nick Park, James Cameron, Guillermo del Toro, George Lucas, John Landis, J.J. Abrams, Wes Anderson. He inspired all of these phenomenal and amazing directors nowadays, and yet a lot of people don't even know his name. And so what that did to me is it got me thinking about inspiration, how we inspire, how we encourage others. Galatians 6:10 says, while we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, and especially to those who are in the household of the faith. As followers of Christ, we're encouraged to encourage others. We're encouraged to lift each other up. We're encouraged to inspire others to move beyond ourselves. God inspires us, obviously, but we're called to inspire others as well. And it's not about getting our own name out there. It's about encouraging and lifting each other up. And that's so very, very important. And I think that's one of the things I want to take from this particular film, which again, if you've not got a chance to watch it, please do. It's very entertaining. Harryhausen was this technical expert. He did a lot of stop motion and things like that, and he really inspired all of these other amazing directors who themselves then inspired others. And yes, their names may be more known than Ray's is, but that doesn't matter. The important thing is he created this atmosphere for people to think and look at things from a different perspective. He's inspiring and encouraging others. And it's just so wonderful that we get the opportunity as well to do just the same thing. So next week, or next time, we start a whole new series. And this series is based on a cartoon series originally released in 1985, although the first season was actually finished in 1983. There was a new series released on it from 2011 and then in 2020. And this doesn't count comic books, video games, and other things as well. So this particular cartoon series was absolutely one of my favorites. I loved it. It was one of the best cartoons I ever watched. And so it should be a fun one for us to talk about. So thanks, God bless, and y'all have a great week.